What's up, everybody?
Hey.
Look, it's a lot going on, and this is a special broadcast that we have tonight for you guys. I know that we have so many things happening in the collective, and I had to bring Chief Montana in, and we got some serious stuff happening. You got to go to the big dogs, and I think that it's time for us to really start having the serious conversations and that we've probably been avoiding for a long time. But the way life is, life happens in such a way that things will keep happening until you address it. And the mental illness, our trauma, our need for healing and change, we keep seeing it. So, you know, recently, as you guys know, Bill Cosby was convicted and he was just sentenced to prison, taken to jail. And we're all split in the collective. I don't really want to get into it too hard. I know we've got a lot of opposing beliefs, but what I want to talk about is the root of the issue, which is us as a collective, but particularly when it comes to mental illness in the Black community, how we got here, what we can do. So I want to first give you guys a chance to get a perspective from Chief Montana, because I think right now we're so emotional, and we need to get someone with sound mind and his perspective. So just give me what your perspective is on Bill Cosby, the trial itself, and then we're going to talk about, all the other stuff that comes afterwards and how we heal as a community, how we move forward. So just give me your take on that as a Black man and what's happened so far.
Well, obviously, in my opinion, I think I think he got railroaded, in my opinion. Not to say that he did or he didn't do it, but looking at history from a historical perspective, you should be treated fairly across the board with your white counterparts, your Hispanic counterparts. It doesn't matter. The case is just the case itself. And so from what I could see based upon the evidence, I've seen people who've done a lot worse. Not saying that he should have gotten something worse or less, but just from the perspective of just looking at what other people have dealt with, and they've just kind of walked away scot-free, and then what he's dealt with, and there's been so much evidence that they had to throw out because it was just not valid.
Sure.
And the way it looked, it was like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do to you, and really, there's nothing you can do about it but take it. At the end of the day, which doesn't work. And then just to see some of the outrage from Black women around that is a bit disappointing, and I say that because just on my personal experience and divining for women, and in the womb school about a year and a half ago or so, we were going to offer protection for women, and the interesting thing is those women who experienced some type of trauma, right? And when I divine for them and I say, okay, this is what we can do to assist you with your trauma, I can make some spiritual protection for you. And this is how the spiritual protection works. And once I broke it down to them, guess what they said?
What?
No.
They didn't want the protection from.
They didn't want the person who, they didn't want the person who actually committed the act, which caused them to have trauma, whether it's sexual trauma, emotional trauma, whatever. They want nothing. They want nothing to be done to them. Number one, they want them to just keep walking away scot-free and just do whatever they want to do.
So you never heard a woman say, "Okay, I want something to be done to him." You never really heard that.
No, they actually got scared. I could hear like they're like, "Ooh, I don't," and they actually said, "Well, I don't want anything to happen to him," like that. And then, along with that, there was a component where if anyone attempted to assault you sexually, or even if by chance, which probably wouldn't happen, but by chance they actually had an opportunity to lay their hands on you, it's not going to work out for them at the end of the day at all. And without failure, all the women said no. That's why I don't offer it anymore.
Okay.
Because no one wanted to actually have anything done to the people who potentially were going to assault them or who actually did. They wanted them to walk away. So when I see this outrage, I think at the root of it is that, it's easy for you to point the finger at someone else and say, you did it, it's your fault, you get what you deserve, as opposed to looking at yourself and saying, wow, I haven't done anything about my trauma at all. And so all that's being deflected out there.
Yeah, and it's like the women that are really excited about Bill Cosby going to jail, you still gonna have trauma to deal with, boo. That's not him going to jail. It still doesn't take care of your issues in life, your health, your bad pattern of relationships, you know, your chronic joblessness. And this goes for men and women, because we got a lot of coon black men that's saying he deserved it and all this type of stuff. So to you guys too, it's, you know, him going to jail, you still, what Chief Montana is saying, you're still gonna be left with your trauma. Right. So this fake outrage, you know, and y'all can put up your Me Too's and why I waited and all that type of stuff, hashtags, you're still left with your trauma. So what you gonna do about your trauma, boo? And that's why I think it's so silly when we go through the dramatics as a people, because we still have fake outrage. You know, when I wore a bikini, it's people that's got a problem with what I got on right now, but love Cardi B. You know what I mean? That's that bipolarism that we deal with. Had you been so serious about, you know, sexual abuse, you would have been talking about this from the Roman Catholic Church. We would have been fighting against the Roman Catholic Church and the pastors and everybody long ago. We would have been doing that. So what I'm getting to see is how sick we really are as a culture, because we're using this as proxy, you know, for our scapegoat. Sisters, all the sisters that's dealing with your stuff and your vitriol and hatred for the black man. We saw it with Nate Parker, with that movie, okay? We saw that you didn't even want to believe that they already acquitted Nate Parker. He wasn't even convicted on the rape charge, none of that. But y'all said he was a rapist? So we already know for black women, the black man can't win anyway. Even when the system, the proof has shown you he's not even supposed to be in jail, but because you don't like the black man, you like, oh yeah, put him in jail. And you using this as some type of opportunity to put out all of what you done dealt with and all of your exes that's not calling you back. And again, it's the hatred that you really have for the black man. That's really what this is, because it's not critical thinking, because the critical thinkers are awake. We're not in our emotions about this. God help you if we start asking who know about being on code. They don't understand that Bill Cosby represents one big fat Negro. And you talking about, yeah, I saw one silly lady talking about Bill Cosby is evil. Really? Really? He's evil. Girl. And it's like Master said, be mad at Bill Cosby. It's like puppets. They telling you who to get mad at, by the way. Okay?
Yeah, and so you walk around.
Let me see what he's talking about.
Ooh.
Why do black women feel the need to heavily support white women victimhood when they're already the most protected woman in the world? It's due to the fact that the black women are conditioned to be everyone's allies to their own detriment. Now, brother, you better preach today. Let's talk about that. The victimhood. Oh, we was talking about that. Weren't we going there?
I was just about to go there right before you.
Oh, I just got chills on my right side. My left side. That's my spiritual side. Ooh. Talk about it, Chief.
But see, we have to get that in life we always have two choices. Pain and suffering or ecstasy. Okay. And so you have to choose which one you want. If you choose to continue to be a victim, guess what you're choosing?
Pain and suffering.
Pain and suffering. Because you always want to have a story to tell.
Oh, they like that story. They want to tell that story.
So as long as you have a story to tell, then that means that you're never free.
Hello? Y'all so dedicated to your story.
That means that you can hold on to whatever trauma that is. And I'm not diminishing anybody's life experiences.
Of course.
You know, I've experienced trauma, blah, blah, blah. But I made a choice.
And he's experienced molestation, by the way. People that haven't heard his story, because see, they're gonna say, y'all are so heartless. No, we talking about somebody that's dealt with trauma, the most traumatic thing a child can deal with. So this is coming from that perspective, and he's telling you. Okay, so go continue, because people don't know.
So all you have to do, like for me, I chose to deal with the trauma. It was a choice because I got sick and tired of the pain and suffering. Period. Regardless of how my life looked on the outside, internally there was pain and suffering. And so at that point, I had to make a choice. Either I can deal with it and become free, and that means deal with what actually happened. Yeah. And in dealing with what actually happened, you don't deal with quote unquote sexual trauma, you deal with each step of the act that happened.
Yeah.
You can't say, oh, I was molested or I experienced sexual trauma. Well, what does that look like? Because it looks different for everybody. I had to sit there and go through minute by minute, moment by moment of what happened, what led to it, what happened during the act, and what happened afterwards. And when I had the courage enough to deal with that, I was free. And that's why I can talk about it, and I have zero going on about any of it. There's no story for me to tell about it. There's no victimhood around any of it.
Please let's talk about that, because I appreciate you sharing it, because what I've also noticed just on a day-to-day basis, we're so sick. We have been programmed to think that, and actually the only way we get attention nowadays is by being pathetic and pitiful. You've been taught to be pathetic and pitiful. You've been taught to worship your deity, your God, as a lowly, sinful thing and being. You've been down. You've been closing your eyes and bowing to pray for a long time. So this victimhood, that position, y'all real comfortable with that. And I see it on your timelines every day. You're checking in at the hospital, talking about how you're sick, talking about how you're single, talking about how you're sad. It's some form of complaint. Right? And the post I made the other day was, pay attention. Men that are chronically complaining and whining on their timelines, avoid them, because kings never do that. And we have a culture, and we have a simp epidemic right now. We have a simp epidemic right now, and we have a victimhood. Y'all are so proud of y'all victimhood right now. Oh, I'm just a victim. It happened to me. You don't ever want to get free. It's like we're addicted to the struggle. Well, what about the triumph? We don't talk about the triumph enough as a people, because we find it's honor. It's that honor, nobility in the struggle.
Right.
Oh, I'm preaching the gospel. I'm giving the spiritual work. I'm going to give it to you for free. Oh, the struggle. Oh, no, I can go without. I'm going to be broke for the cause. No. No, that's that attitude. So I already see we're dealing with a culture of people and women and men that like to be pathetic and victims. Yeah, me too. It's not right. All of that. Deal with your shit. Stop getting comfortable telling your story, because honestly, a lot of y'all want attention. I'm really a bitch tonight because I'm telling the truth. You don't even know how to get healthy attention. You don't even know how to get friends the right way. Some of y'all don't even know how to get friends unless you're being pathetic. Some of you don't even know how to get attention from the opposite sex unless you whining about something. That's the way we know how to connect with each other. It's got to be a form of complaint. It's got to be a form of anger. That's the way we connect, and that's the way we get attention. It's in this negative way, and I need y'all to let that go.
The problem is, it's difficult to let go of your training, because you always come up against nature versus nurture. Your nature will tell you that you want to be free, but your nurturing will tell you you want to be a victim, period. Because all of our institutions, from our governmental, educational, and religious institutions, stress being a victim, period.
That's right.
And so you grow up being a victim. It's very simple. And so it comes second nature for a lot of people to be a victim.
Yes.
And a lot of people are victims, and they become frustrated and become angry, because what's happening is you have like your nature here, your nurturing over here, and they're constantly doing this. Constantly.
That's why I tell you, ladies, you can't be a victim and a queen. You know you can't be both. You got to choose one. You can't be victorious and you can't be a victim. You have to choose. You cannot be both simultaneously. So being a queen, getting on your timelines, whining and staying in your story and identifying yourself as that. I'm the woman that has, like, what do you see yourself as? Like, they typecast themselves as that the rest of their life. The lady that, I'm a woman that had 8 kids. A lot of you don't know who you are again and what you've incarnated for. And so you have to find these stories and these titles and this person and this to give you an identity. Because again, they don't really know who they are anyway, right? So that kind of makes sense too.
But a lot of people don't know who they are. And a lot of people are afraid of who they are. Period.
That fear is real.
And so if you ever sit, I promise you, most people never look at themselves in the mirror. They look at their eyebrows, they look at their hair, they may look at their mouth, they don't look at the fullness of themselves in the mirror. They don't look at themselves eye to eye. And a lot of people will say, "Oh, I go to the mirror every day," but the reality is you're not actually looking at you. You're looking at a certain part of you, your hair, nose, your eyes, lips, or something like that. That's all you're looking at, but you're never looking at you. And if you take a moment, it only takes 2 minutes, and look at yourself, I promise you'll cry. Because then you'll see the full expression of who you are looking back at you. And it's never who you think you are. It's always greater than who you think you are. And that is the thing that scares people all the time. But anyway.
So let's, you guys, I know we touched on a couple of things, because again, when it comes to this, a lot of you are listening to this as emotional victims right now. If you want to unfollow, if you have a problem with this, if you want to perceive me as being, insensitive to people that have experienced abuse or trauma or anything, that's because that's your choice, right? And I don't talk to your emotions. That's something I've learned from you too. I can't, I'm not going to talk to your emotions. I'm not, because this is critical thinking right now. We're going to continue this conversation and talk about actual effective healing solutions for Black people dealing with trauma. But again, for those of you that have experienced trauma, rape, sexual abuse, don't come in my inbox telling me I'm not sensitive to it, because that's not what we're talking about. We're actually giving you solutions to break free. And it will occur as if we're being insensitive, because we don't want to enable you to keep telling your story and identifying yourself like that. They want you to keep seeing it and be, I'm never going to feel sorry for you. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm never going to feel sorry for you.
The most disrespectful thing someone could ever do for you is feel sorry for you.
Ooh.
That's hands down the most disrespectful
don't disappoint
thing
them.
that anybody can ever do.
Please don't disappoint them. Because I feel like sometimes they'll even get in a session with me, and I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but it's like they just keep trying, because you always just come with solution.
Right.
And it's like, you can tell, like, you really just want to cry right now. And that's really where we are. I notice we do that, Black people. We really don't like solutions. Like when I tell you guys about how I watch my mom help people with herbs and stuff like that. And it's like, I notice that they'll kind of fade away. They'll see stuff is working, or even they'll see they have all these solutions now and they'll still not do it. Well, it's because you really didn't want the solutions. You really were more dedicated to complaining and feeling sad. Because when you have the solutions, I notice how even people will start deflecting and finding other things to do and complicating things when the solution's right in your face. Well, do this. Well, but see, you don't understand. It's that, well, I tried to do the detox and it was that. No, it's that you have the solutions now and it's a choice. Now you have to make a choice. And a lot of people are not ready to make that choice. They really, really want to act like they won't help, but you're not really making those actions. What were you going to say?
No, you said something very powerful when people say, "Oh, I tried, blah, blah, blah." Like one of my mentors always said, there's no action in trying. So I'm going to give y'all a quick demonstration, if you don't mind. You see this pen right here? Hold this pen for a second. Okay, now hold it up like that. Now try to let it go. Try to let it go.
I mean, I can't try to let it go. I'm either let it go or I'm going to hold it.
Exactly.
Oh, come on, demonstration.
There's no such thing as
Come on, demonstration.
None.
I hope y'all got that.
There's zero action in trying.
It's zero.
You're doing it or you're not doing it.
I'm trying. And most people are dedicated to that story, to that, that sad love song. You don't ever, that record gonna keep on playing. And I know I already speak to that. I overstand us as a people. I know we'll say, "Oh, I want help. I want to heal. I want a man." But you don't want to do nothing to look attractive, inner or outer beauty. You're not taking care of that. You're not working out, but you'll still have the same complaint as if, you have every right and you're worthy of it. You're not. But as it relates, let me just circle back around real quick to the mental illness. Y'all gonna see how crazy and mentally ill your people is, your girlfriends is with this Bill kinds of thing. Ain't nothing about this logical. Everything. If you don't understand white supremacy, you don't know how to look at this at all. Y'all are bringing in emotions on shit where you need to be completely logical. And this is about survival. They don't understand. Right. This is about survival right now. And we're going to pick this up in the other room.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Wrap up. And we're going to pick up this conversation in the ancestral way, because tonight we are talking about mental illness in the Black community and how we can discuss discuss effective healing solutions for us so that we can get past grief, loss, traumatic breakups, death, all that kind of stuff. So we're going to wrap up here. We're going to talk later. I've been telling you guys we're going to have that free class, but I wanted to just kind of, intro this topic and give you guys an opportunity to at least start the conversation about this, because y'all, we about to see how crazy we really are as a people. I can't delete enough women off my timeline fast enough.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm glad they're showing me how sick they are.
So when you look at Bill Cosby, I don't agree with everything he says. Shoot, I don't agree with everything anybody says or does.
Exactly.
Period. But you can't take a slice or a small aspect of someone's life and then view it as the totality of their being. You can't do that.
And then you can't disregard white supremacy in this whole thing. This is a I'm white and I say so situation. Because I don't want them to say, oh, he did rape them women. We're talking about white supremacy again. Okay, this is about white supremacy. This is an 80-year-old black man that got railroaded by white supremacy. That's all we're saying. It just wasn't a fair trial. It's not just. This is not about that. This is about everything but that. So if you have a problem with this, if you have supported our book and we have offended you now, God bless you, because you're acting out of emotion. If you want to unfollow, because we have that. You'll have that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm okay with that. Just like Julius Malema talking about, we ready to fight. We expect having to shed some blood. We expect to shed some blood, and so we expect to lose a few of you. And I really feel like this was a gift. The Kanye West, the Bill Cosby, all this is a gift. It's house cleaning, isn't it? It's good. So whoever we left with, that mean that the women that know what time it is, see it for the BS that it is. Y'all are smart. Welcome to the next level. You'll be going up the next level, and we'll be talking about solutions now. So I'm ready to go to the Ancestral Way. That's our co-ed group. If you guys want the co-ed space, you can go there. And you can go to the Warrior School. Love that Warrior School y'all got for men only. So let's wrap up here. We're going to continue this conversation and talk about effective healing solutions, about mental health in the black community and all that good stuff. Okay? So y'all join us. Any last words?
Chief. The only last words I have, and this is what I tell all of my students, I say all the time. In life, you have two choices. I said it earlier. Pain and suffering or ecstasy. And you get to choose which one you exist in, period. And so most of the time we walk around, I'm about to go down this road. Most of the time we walk around, we can be in ecstasy, right? Things can be going great. We can spend like 3 weeks of just bliss.
Right.
And we'll have a moment, like a second of something that's unfavorable. And we'll dwell on that for the next year and exist in pain and suffering.
That's true.
Now you flip it, and you could be in a situation where life just isn't working for you for 3 months. And then you have a moment of ecstasy. It will only be a moment of ecstasy. And you will not hold on to that ecstasy at all. You'll drop it and you'll go right back to the pain and suffering.
Because that's how we've been trained to do that. I see how we have. We have. I mean, I had gave a lady, I'll give y'all all of the detox stuff. Do this, girl. Your body be hot, boom, boom. Y'all will come back and be like, yeah, but, blah, 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 blah. I saw this thing. How can I do this? Da, 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 blah, blah, blah. So anyway, y'all can choose pain and suffering. Somebody just dropped a link, I think they said no prison time, ex-Houston doctor who raped. Yeah, they don't get no prison time. We already know what time it is. So the people that know what it is, and the people that want to use this as misplaced anger and fake outrage off something, talk to your daddy. Put your energy in the archdiocese. Ask yourself why you're really scared to go after the white man. And that's what Frances Cress Welsing, she already knew that. Your slip is showing, scary Negroes. It's easier for you. Let me break this down for y'all before I go. It's easier for you to be mad and villainize and demonize a black man to go to jail for rape than it is to do a white man, because you can't bring a white man to justice. Okay? It's easy for you to kill a brother for stepping on your shoes than to kill George Zimmerman for, murking our boy Trayvon Martin. See, your fake outrage is misplaced. So I'm not moved by this, okay? And we'll see in probably a week or so when this blows over, it'll be something new.
Yeah.
And your trauma will still be with you. Wasn't trying to rhyme, but that's a great way that I can wrap it up there. So we'll see you guys in a few minutes, and join us in the Ancestral Way study group and masterclass for the class about effective healing solutions. We ain't here to rant and vent and be victims. We about to be victorious and get solutions. So see you guys soon, and thank you for joining us. Peace.